When someone gives you a brick of fruitcake for the holidays, that's the same thing as Santa giving a bad kid coal in his stockings. Nobody likes that shit. But there is a fruitcake that I love dearly, and that's called panettone. So today I'm going to show you how to make mini panettone. Panettone is an Italian treat, and if you've never had it, the best way I can describe the flavors and textures is as if bread and cake came together, had a baby. It was like panettone. It's a simple recipe, but the key to this recipe is patience. You need a lot of it because this needs a lot of time. There's a double rise, but I'll walk you through it. The night before, you gotta prepare two things. First, make the starter. In a bowl, combine water, yeast, and some flour. Whisk it all together, cover it up, and leave it somewhere for at least 8 hours until it looks foamy like this. It's kind of like pancake batter. The second thing to prep, marinated fruit. In a bowl, add some raisins, some candied orange peel. You can buy these in stores or make your own. And then the good part, some rum, a lot of it. Mix it all together and let that sit overnight. And this is what you'll get. It smells amazing. All right, now we can make the dough. I've got a mixing bowl here. You could do this by hand, but I highly suggest using a mixer, even a hand one, because it'll do all the work for you. I'm gonna drop in some eggs, sugar, vanilla, and my favorite part, the orange zest. This stuff is underrated. I know I said to let the mixer do all the work, but look at me, the workaholic. Now the starter goes in. Ooh, sexy. Now it's time to use the mixer. I got a dough attachment here. Again, if you're doing this by hand, just use a spoon. Now it's time to add flour, just a little at a time. Let's put it on low. Make sure to go in with a spatula every now and then to scrape down the sides. Keep going. All the flour is incorporated. It's a very sticky dough. Now it's time to add the marinated fruit. Just the fruit, not the liquid, but do not dare throw away this liquid. It's so great in other recipes. This gets mixed very gently, so the lowest speed. That's mixed just enough. Lastly, some softened butter. Boop. Before you take the dough out of the mixing bowl, prepare another bowl, a really big one, and grease it up real good with some oil. This is so that the dough doesn't stick later. It's quite a sticky dough, but you don't want to add too much flour because then the dough is going to be super dense and like, ow, hard like a fruitcake. Turn the dough out. Very, very sticky. Make sure you flour your hands before you touch the dough. And you want to knead it very gently, and for not too long of a time. You still want it to be sticky. And dump it into the oiled bowl. A little bit more oil on top so it doesn't dry out. Cover it up and set this aside somewhere relatively warm for a couple of hours until it doubles in size. Ho ho ho! OGP is busting at the seams. That's a monster, right? You see all the air bubbles there? That is exactly what you're looking for. Now, the satisfying part, you gotta punch it down a bit. Ooh. I'm gonna lightly flour my surface again and just dump this right out. Now, I'm going to divide the dough to fit in these adorable little mini panettone molds. If you don't have this, you could also bake them in a muffin tin. So this gets divided in half, and this in half. Grease up your panettone molds. You could use some nonstick spray or some butter. This is just easy because spurts, it's done. Pop in your little dough balls. See, if all fruitcake looked like this, we would all be happier, you know? I mean, originally started sometime in the Middle Ages when people like to put dried fruit into baked desserts. And then the Industrial Revolution happened and mass-produced bricks of sadness is what I like to call them. But thank goodness for the Italians for coming up with panettone. If I got this as a present, let's just say, I'll give you the ho ho ho. It's time for them to rise a second time, just about 30 minutes in a warm spot until they double up and fill up the molds. Licky licky. Now all we have to do is brush the tops with a little egg wash, Just 1 egg, a little bit of water. This is what's gonna make the tops nice and golden brown. You could also use some scissors and cut a little cross at the top, but I like my buns nice and round. Don't worry about the ones that look a little deflated. They will continue rising as they bake. Beautiful. These go in the oven at 350 for about 20 to 25 minutes until they're nice and golden brown. And there you have it, mini panettone. You can tie them up with a little red bow and give them as a gift. Ideally, you should let them cool down completely, but I like mine still a little warm and with some butter. Let's take a look at this one. And fluffy, yes, look at that. Studded with the raisin and orange peel. It smells amazing. I like it with just a little bit of butter. This is the cake that fruitcakes be jealous of. Hey, be sure to come back to Tastemade every Saturday for more good times with Jen. In the meantime, you can check out more awesome videos by clicking right over here and come say hi to me over at my channel, Just Eat Life.